Okay, so we're going to start doing the first build by mixing the flours. And what we need is 27 grams of the all-purpose or ABC flour. So I'm going to measure out 27 grams. 26, 27. This will be enough to make 2 loaves of bread. And to the 27 grams of the AP flour, we're going to add 10 grams of the whole grain flour. 9, 10. There we go. Now, always mix flours with a whisk. Okay. And the next thing is we're going to measure out 22 grams of water. It's distilled water, of course. So here we go, 22 grams. What I do is I always add like a couple of extra grams of water because some inevitably stays in the bowl itself. So now what I'm going to do is this is the bowl we're going to use to mix it all in. And we start with, every time you bake a loaf of bread, no matter how many loaves you're going to make, even if it's 1 loaf or 100 loaves, you use 100 grams of starter. So what I'm going to do is take 100 grams of chef levain that we made earlier, and that's going to be the basis for the loaves that we're going to be making today. So we take just a gloop of that's 113 grams. That's a 100 gram piece of chef levain. Now we add to that the water. And this is the most important part of doing all this for any of the builds and making the dough. You always start by doing this chopping motion. Basically what you want to do is chop up the levain into the water until it's in little pieces. And the water itself is white. I'll show you. Again, when we do this for the second build, we'll be working with larger amounts, and it'll be easier to see. So in any event, now we add the flour that we just measured out. And mix it all together. Yep, get in there. The idea is to use the dough scraper to start with to get everything mixed together, but you're going to have to finish these things just using your hands. You want it to come together as a ball. What I do is press everything together. Make sure you get up all the bits of flour there at the bottom of the bowl. And you can see it's coming together nicely. Just smooth it out a little bit. And that's the first build. Now it has to sit for about 4.5 to 5 hours. We're ready to turn into. So the first build for the dough is going to sit up here in the warmest spot in the kitchen for about 5 or 6 hours when we'll turn it into the second build. It's been 5 hours since we started work on the first build, and we put it over here on the oven in order to ferment all day. And this is what it looks like after 5 hours, 4 to 5 hours of fermentation in a warm spot. It's actually, you can see it's kind of puffed up. There's a lot of holes in it. It has successfully fermented. It's now ready for the second build.